Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our UT Outreach Dallas podcast. We're excited to share so many different things with you tonight or today or whatever time of the day that you're listening to this or watching this. We're going to be talking about networking. So, how do you network in this particular season? We're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves, what we do, who we are, and then we'll kind of jump into this topic. We hope that it helps you if you're a high school student, if you're a college student, or if you're, near retirement. I think there's a space that everybody can learn how to network. So, with us right now, we have two extremely important people. I'll let them introduce themselves. So I'll start with you, Joe. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. Thank you, Brian. So again, my name is Joe Posada, and I'm with UT Outreach here in Dallas. And essentially, my role is to support our students become successful. At the same time, is kind of carry this mission that Outreach has here in Dallas and across the state of Texas, which is supporting and developing the college-going culture. And so, with my role, I've had the opportunity to really work with the students, support them since the moment they realize, hey, I want to go to college, to the point they graduate high school, transition into college, and actually see them all the way through, which is really neat. It gives me an opportunity to really become the person that I needed 10, 11 years ago when I was in their shoes, trying to figure out where do I go and how do I pay for it and what have you. And there were amazing organizations that helped me as well. So that in itself, I'm grateful to be in this position because this is my calling. This is what I definitely needed. And at the same time, again, our students are having the opportunity to connect with us and connect with other students and all of those campuses. And also just with everything that's going on, having, all of us having to work remotely from home, it's been good for me as well because I'm actually a recent, a father I'm a 2 month newborn. So it's been really amazing because I've had an opportunity to spend a lot more time with him here at home and with my family and what have you. So, we're all trying to adapt to family, to working from home and what have you, and still being able to provide the type of work that we do for our students because outreach is outreach and it's something that our students definitely need and want. And so I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to do that as well.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. You're doing great work. Taryn, you want to jump in now?
Hi, everybody. It's Taryn Bray Haskett here. I am right now with my under two children right now, trying to figure out what's going on with them, trying to take care of home and take care of my students as well, because you all are important. You are a priority to us during this time right now. We know it's very hard trying to function in this crazy, hectic time, but we are here for you. Like Joe, I'm an assistant director here at UT Outreach Dallas. I'm also a UT Austin grad. I graduated in 2014. And then also, right now I'm at UNT working on my doctorate degree. And yeah, I'm just here trying to help and be a resource to you all during this time.
Thank you, Miss Taryn Bright Haskett. I know you have a lot going on, as do me and Joe and the rest of the world right now. We're just trying to manage what's given to us. So I'll jump in as well. So it's funny. I was telling Joe, we were just talking about this. I've known Joe since he was a senior in high school. So I've been kind of helping kids get to college for a while. I worked for a nonprofit college access program. Came to UT for 4 years, left and went to work for my church. Then recently came back to UT, and so the interesting thing about what we're trying to do now is build on top of what outreach does. Outreach that's our bread and butter. So if you come to Dallas and you hear anything about UT, it's going to be admissions or it's going to be outreach. And outreach has been around since 1987, and it's all about helping kids get to college. And if students have a particular interest in UT, then of course we have some special ways to connect with them, connecting them with admissions, connecting them with support components on campus, especially DDCE, which is the Division of Diversity and Community Engagements. That's the division that we're in. And so right now in Dallas, what we're trying to do is build an extension of what DDCE does in Dallas. And that consists of, of course, our bread and butter is outreach. But also we're trying to do more with mentoring, internships, professional development, study abroad. Now, study abroad is going to be interesting now. We'll see how that goes. But with our professional development piece, we want to engage high school, college students and recent graduate students, whether they're UT alum or whether they're UT outreach alum and they didn't go to the University of Texas at Austin. And so we're excited about so many different things that we have in store. But from a UT outreach perspective, one of the things that we want to talk about is how do you start the process of preparing for being college and career ready. And so we're our topic today is about networking. So before we jump into that, a couple of housekeeping things. I wanted to pass it to Joe to kind of tell us some exciting things, given the season that we're in, how we're connecting with people on a specific platform.
No, of course. Yeah. So for us, for our students, anything is that work never stops, outreach never stops. And so as the world is still going and everything that's going on, we want to ensure that we're still there for our students. Because first and foremost, I mean, we're here to support you. And so one of the neat ways and one of the platforms that we're using is actually Google Classrooms. And so what this allows our students is to still be engaging with us. I'm sure that you all are familiar already with it, whether through your district or your campus is already using them via Google Classrooms or Zoom. But for us, is that we've been able to create a Google Classroom for each of our grade levels and to allow our students to kind of just engage us at a more personal level. So you're still engaging us and also other students and still being able to follow that curriculum that we provide our students, whether it's, again, understanding, what are the next steps if you're a senior. If you're a junior, how do you do your college search, or how do you narrow your top 10 list down to your top 5 and ultimately that number 1 school or your dream school that you want to attend, to working with the freshmen and sophomores to really understand, why is college important and why should we start thinking about it now. And so what Google Classroom, again, allows us to do is to kind of put all of our information on there and then break it down and really just engage in conversations with you all, whether we're doing that via the chat, via text message, or even just being able to set up a Zoom or even a Google Hangout for you all to kind of engage us and ask us any questions. And the neat thing about the work that we're doing is that we're using Google Slides. So it's all integrated with the Google suite that they offer. So we have our Google Slides that kind of lets you review each presentation, each curriculum topic at your own pace. So you get a chance to really look at it, see what is networking, how do you really network, or what are my next steps, and follow that presentation itself, and then with follow-up questions or what we call assignments. But they're not really true assignments because, again, we're wanting you all to just kind of engage us in that sense and kind of letting us know, like, hey, you know what, I'm actually thinking of going to UT, or I'm actually thinking of going to another institution. What can I do to ensure that I'm on the right steps? And so for us is that we make ourselves available and we're flexible to work with each and every single one of you to kind of understand that process in itself and then be prepared. So whenever you are ready to make the next step of transitioning, you have everything under your belt of understanding. And the beauty of it is that our virtual hours may be from 10 to 3 and we may be available all day, but the Google Classroom is available 24/7. So even, you may have a random thought and now you're like, oh, wait, I just remember a question from the questionnaire. Where do I go to do a search? You can definitely do that online and always reference that. So that's one of the neat platforms that we're using at the moment.
Awesome. And then, so we're trying to make sure we are able to reach students from wherever they are. So Taryn, if you can tell us a little bit about what we're doing on social media, how we're able to connect with people or how they can connect with us, and maybe some fun things that we have in store.
So hey guys, so social media, Ms. Bright Haskett again. So first of all, our social medias right now are Twitter, at UT Outreach DFW. Then we have Instagram, which is at UT Outreach Dallas, and then Facebook. You can like it. I know the young folks are not really on Facebook, but if you want to have your mom or your aunts or your uncles follow us on Facebook, it's at UT Outreach UT Outreach DFW, just like our Instagram and our Twitter. And so we have all those 3 platforms where we can go live and just talk to y'all, reach out to y'all. We won't be following you back because we don't want to see all your TikToks, and I know y'all don't want us to follow you and who you like, who's your boo this week or not this week. But we just want you to follow us. We'll post scholarships as well. We are very interactive. So if you ask us like a question, we will respond to you rather like in like about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, or even sooner than that. So reach out to us on all platforms. We're here to help you. We tweet out a lot of different things. We follow different people. We tweet them back. We'll repost you. We've been posting a lot of things this week. So just keep up with us. And let's say if you want to go from like Instagram Live or come out those platforms, we also have virtual appointments that we can also help you with as well. So it can be one-on-one, whether it be over the phone or face-to-face. So we're just here to help you and connect and take you to the next level because we're trying to use every platform, every social media outlet that we can just put out all the resources, all the information that you need to be successful on your college journey.
Thank you both. I felt really old right now because Facebook is my favorite form, but clearly, that's not what the young folks are using these days. But you know, we definitely want to meet students where they are. So excited about that. Also, we'll be posting a couple of things. So we have 60 seconds with UT Outreach Dallas that we'll do, and it's basically a topic shrunk down into 60 seconds, just for you to, you know, if you need a quick hit about what do we did one on procrastination that was a little bit longer, but we did another one on how to choose a major. We'll be doing some stuff about how to choose colleges, quick bites where you can get a lot of information quickly, but then also things like now, which is a more longer version of a particular topic, going into detail, and then we'll have and answer as many questions as we can virtually, because again, we want to bring ourselves to you wherever you are. And the beauty of where we are now is we can engage with more people. We can't see you face to face, but we have the opportunity to take the knowledge, have the resources that we have, and extend them even further. So I want to jump into the topic right now. So networking. So I'll start with, again, with you, Joe. If you can tell us, like, how do you describe networking? What is that? What does it mean to you? And you know, just define it for us.
Yeah, so networking to me personally is having the ability to connect with someone, and more specifically, someone that you may not know that's in your immediate circle, but because of someone that you do know within the immediate circle. So I think one of the ones is like the 6 degrees of separation, which the theory is like we're actually no more than 6 degrees from someone anywhere in the world that you can think of. And so because of one person that you know can lead to another person. And so like LinkedIn, they have those professional circles. It tells you if that person is your second and third. So for me, networking is basically having the ability to really connect with someone that's not in your immediate circle and what have you. So I think that in itself is really something that I believe that kind of is very useful because they kind of landed me to where I'm at today. You know, it started from my first job with in higher ed as a recruiter and leading my way into outreach and then moving forward to another institution and then coming back and what have you. So the neat thing is that that's kind of it's helping me kind of not only personally but also help me professionally, not only for myself, not to see like, oh hey, like how can I connect with someone to help me advance in my career, but it's actually helping me help my students advance wherever they need to go. And so networking can be included in anything you can virtually think of. And so the beauty of it is that when we connect with other organizations, we're always thinking about you all. So you know, when we meet with a nonprofit organization, they do college access, or nonprofits that do mentoring, we're like, okay, so what are some of the programming that we can embed with our curriculum in order for our students to benefit? And so the beauty of it is that, you know, our students get to walk away with all those benefits. And then ultimately we want you all to be able to do that. I know typically networking, you see it more that it's face-to-face, in person, and what have you. But as we're moving with everything that's going on right now, networking can actually start even from a single tweet, a single Facebook post, an Instagram comment, a LinkedIn connection. And so that's the beauty of networking, that it's not only restrained to one way of only to be able to do it. You can actually do it in any way, in different platforms and various pathways to get there.
Perfect. Taryn, and we're going to come back to the virtual aspect of it, but Taryn, can you define networking for us?
Okay, so networking to me is basically, because I'm an outgoing person, I'm an extrovert all the time. So every time I sit down to like meet somebody, I feel like I should make a connection with that person. So whether it be like being a mom, whether it be being a student, whether it be being working in Dallas ISD, working in Cedar Hill ISD, where I'm at, I know I can make a connection. And connections and networking is basically one similar thing you have in common with somebody. You have a conversation, spark up a conversation, say, okay, then what do you do? Then what do I do? What resources do you have that can help my students? And what resources can I have that help your students? And we're just like swapping information and connecting to basically help our students and help our organizations and just to be on a successful path. But I just think it all starts with relationships and being personable with that person. And because I know I've started a conversation with somebody just about just being a mom, and that turned into, hey, can I give your students some scholarships? So here's my contact information for some scholarship information. That just started over being a mom. So students, I charge you, or I inspire you or just put a task out there for you all to be making connections with everybody you meet here on social media these days. Just make connections with everybody, or connect with people, make personal connections. As you hear my toddler in the background,
Hey,
having challenges.
COVID-19, we got it.
We are. I just charge all my students to make connections during this time of quarantine, and follow people that you probably would never follow, or connect with students. Make sure it's on a good level, and good resources on being good. But I'm just saying, like, right now it's a time for you to network and make those connections, and we're going to tell you how to do that in a professional sense, so it won't be awkward.
So, all right. So, Taryn, I'm gonna mention something, then I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Okay.
So here's how I define networking. Every job that I've ever gotten was every job was, I think that was Lonnie. Every job that I've ever gotten was through networking, whether I knew it or not. So I was, I got out of college, and it was a seasoned saint at church, and everybody was like, Brian is looking for a job. And she came up to me. She was like, hey, you should call my daughter, because my daughter works at 7-Eleven in the corporate office. Boom, first job, no experience, nothing. Then from that, I met a gentleman that worked at Madison High School who told me about a program called Education is Freedom. Boom, worked for that. Then Education is Freedom was in contact with UT Outreach. We had a partnership. Boom. So that was all networking. So I think it's, kind of what everybody said, is just putting yourself in position to be able to share. First of all, you got to give something as well, but being able to share who you are, what you do, and being able to receive that, and trying to find common ground, whether it's yourself and that particular person, or it's whether your organization and their particular organization. So every job I've ever gotten through networking, and I think that's kind of how it works for the most part. So Taryn, if you're still able, what does networking look like right now? What does it look like for a student right now? COVID-19, April 7th, almost Easter 2020. We don't know what the next 2 months brings. What does networking look like?
Wow. Okay. Great question. So I feel like networking right now is for students. Okay. So let's say you have a class project right now, you're on Zoom, you're online. How about getting off there with your, getting off of Zoom with your teacher, and then creating your own Zoom calls, or creating your own Instagram lives, creating your own, kind of, if you go into your Instagram and your DMs, 4 of you can get on live together and network. So right now it's all about virtual experiences and being realistic. And also, let's say if it hasn't been a time where you want to start a YouTube channel, starting that YouTube channel right now, and probably saying how can you connect as a student right now to students all over the world, and getting everybody's like different perspectives. And then also with networking right now, hashtags. So if you put in a hashtag coronavirus, put in a hashtag COVID-19, or any of those hashtags, people could automatically follow you and see what you're saying. Your voice is your platform to use during this time and to network. So by following people, checking on basically checking on your colleagues, or checking on your students, or checking on your different people that you normally wouldn't check on. Thank you, baby, for the hat. I appreciate it. Let me put it on you. Awesome.
Networking. She's networking right now.
So just like networking with anybody, getting your voice out, because networking also during this time is actually self-care. And we want you to do that as well too. So just make sure you're connecting, starting, even if you get on live and only one person gets on, at least you know you're affecting one person, or impacting one person. It doesn't matter who you're reaching. It's just make sure you're putting that voice out there, getting your voice out there to be told. And you just put about topics, because y'all are about to be seniors. Class of 2020, y'all should be making so many like Instagram videos and chats and all that. Like, what's going on with prom? What's going on with senior trips? What's going on with winter? Like, all these things, y'all activities, how's it affecting y'all? Let them know how it's affecting you. Use your voice, and tell your other friends, stay home and stay safe during this time. Whatever it may be, how it's affecting you, social media is for you to gain, not just to look at and watch other people do TikTok videos all day, but using it as a platform.
So Joe, before I'm gonna throw that same question to you, but I also want you to talk about this. So are we oversaturated with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Zoom, Are we oversaturated right now? So how do you manage all of that in this COVID-19 network situation?
No, I think we're going to get there. We, especially depending, with stay-at-home orders and what have you. I think we're definitely going to get to the point, especially as students, because like going back with like Google Classroom, and when we were looking at implementing that with our students, we're thinking, okay, how much the frequency of work, how frequency do we want to engage our students, and then we kind of pause and we're like, wait, if we're thinking about this, imagine what each teacher is doing to engage their students.
Right.
So if a senior has or a freshman has 8 classes, they're probably going to have 8 virtual classes as well. And then on top of that, with what we're dealing with at home, with and managing the family work balance, being able to engage and what have you, the students also is going through that. So I think we're going to get to a point where it's definitely going to feel oversaturated for sure. But I think going to a key point that Taryn hit is it's self-care, being able to unplug even more now than ever. Yes, we can't be all outside, hanging out, with group starters and 10 and what have you, but going out to the backyard, enjoying those flowers, Mother Nature and what have you. I think being able to unplug, even if it's for a quick hot second, I think that being able to get that re-energized to be able to go back and like, you know what? Yes, I have 8 virtual classes, but I can do this. I can break them down. I have time to do it at home with other resources and what have you. And I think right now, especially in 2020, being that it's April 7th, when it comes to networking, it's going to be all virtual. We're not going to be able to go up to an event and be able to meet with other like-minded students or like-minded people with what we want to major in. So I think it's being able to use, again, just echoing with what Taryn mentioned, is like our voice is our platform. And more importantly, is being able to how to capitalize on using all these platforms that we have, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and what have you. Again, everything just you can start with just a single like, a single comment, a retweet, a post, a repost, and then also keeping in mind that networking also takes time. We have to nurture those relationships. We're gonna have those loose relationships and those strong ones, and I think it's being able to understand which one is which, and then how to nurture them. I think that's going to be very important, because as much as like you mentioned, Brian, how every job that you received was all through networking. If you hadn't built that relationship with the person that introduced you to the next person, it wouldn't have been able to happen. And it was because of that relationship that existed, and you were able to nurture some shape or form, or the frequency that you were able to engage. And I think that's very important. That it'd be silly for us to think that it's going to happen overnight. No, it's going to take time, but it's not going to be that much difficult than what we're going through right now. Especially we have our cell phones. Our cell phones are a big platform or medium to be able to actually engage everyone with that, because we're staying connected, and we have access to all of those platforms, and just in our fingertips and in our pockets as well.
Cool. So I heard a few things. So take care of yourself. So I saw something on social media like, I got to stop doing these kickbacks at the crib. I don't care if it's your cousins and your friends. You like no more groups of 10 or more right now. Take care of yourself. But also at the same time, capitalize on these platforms and go hard in the paint and make those connections, even if it's one particular person. But even then, you got to take some time to unplug. You got to take some, because it's a lot, and you can be so inundated with information and inundated with platforms. And so you go hard in the paint while you can, and then you take some time to literally unplug. Go outside. We go walk. Like that's the best that we can do right now. We go outside. My kids are digging up worms, roly polies and beetles. I call them Beetlejuice. We go outside and we walk. And so I get inundated with all these different apps for them to learn. And so I gotta unplug. As soon as we get done with this, I'm gonna unplug. So that's extremely important. So I want to do a couple of last quick things for you all to share. So Joe, while I still got you on, if you could tell us like, what are some key next steps that a student needs to take away with them right now, and then and what anything else that you want to share on this topic or extremely closely related?
No, for sure. Again, going back to the point on capitalizing on these platforms. So one of the things that I enjoy doing a lot, especially, every now and then I bought my little camera. I like taking photos here and there. Nothing to be professional, but just to have something pretty good at home. But what I end up doing on the Instagram feed, on the search one, like Karen mentioned, like hashtags are huge. And so I sometimes just put in a hashtag and type in hashtag Canon or hashtag photography. and my feed gets flooded with nothing but that hashtag and what other people are posting. And that's how I actually end up finding influencers or other key people that I sometimes reach out to and be like, hey fam, like, I have this type of budget. What do you think I should, what my next lens should be? Or like, hey, actually I like those edits, or when it comes, or even to work, sometimes we can see on Twitter, again, you can filter those people that you like, or via hashtag, and those things is where kind of allow me to kind of filter a little bit more specific on what I'm looking for. So for students, think about something that you're passionate about, or think about the major that you're thinking of doing, or that dream job that you have, and be like, you know what, this is something that there's pretty much a hashtag for anything. So I'm sure you can type in that hashtag on there and you'll be able to find it. And sometimes I'm not saying do this 24/7, 10, 15 minutes down the feed, and that's a lot of time to be scrolling through a news feed. So I think that in itself is capitalizing on that. And then to echo again your point, being able to also kind of take that time off and go outside just for a bit and just be like, because again, all these notifications, you're going to get stuck like in the twilight zone, just going in and you're going to lose track of time and what have you. But I think it's very important for students to understand that definitely you're still able to continue doing a networking and what have you. And the beauty of this is that with everything that's going on right now, we're actually all going to walk away with a new set of skills. And Brian, you mentioned this to us, that right now, like without realizing, you're adapting to the situation, to things that you're realizing, at first I was camera shy, but now I'm finding myself going to these Zoom calls, right, and being in there. Yeah. Or students, same thing, students, you're realizing, when I was in class, I actually didn't talk a lot, but because I'm using the Google Classroom, I'm able to comment and have a full blown conversation about the specific topic. And so finding that comfort zone and even get stepping out of your comfort zone. So I think is that we're gaining a lot of skills right now that they're underlying with everything that's going on. And once we get out of this, this curve, we'll end up realizing, wow, like we actually, without realizing, we actually are walking away with a lot of other set of skills, whether it's just doing what you were doing already, but you're realizing you can adapt, and each and every single one of us can. So just keep knowing that, just know that you definitely can and will. And networking, it's something that's going to take time, nurture those relationships, and they're going to grow into something great. And then once we get out of this, you'll be able to, like, hey, we met, on April 7th, and online through a tweet or a Facebook post, let's go grab lunch, or what are things that you recommend I do, or having a office visit and what have you. So that's something that to really keep in mind moving forward.
Taryn, last words, next steps that you want to give regarding this topic, and anything else you want to share that's related that we didn't necessarily cover right now.
My charge to my students right now, I would say find your passion, and maybe like if you find a hashtag, like my favorite hashtag right now, because I'm in motherhood, is just like motherhood is a hashtag that I follow, and I've met so many other moms. And so I would charge you, say, if you love photography, like Joe said, if you love writing, if you love poems, if you love animation, if you love gaming, follow that hashtag on social media and see where that gets you, whether that's on Twitter, whether that's on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. Follow that hashtag, get to know somebody, see somebody else's work, be inspired. And whatever passion you have right now, use that as a network. I know many of you all have to be like 16 or 17 to join LinkedIn and can't do LinkedIn right now. But right now, you should just be connecting, following, engaging, and disconnecting too. Like, don't follow all day, 24 hours a day, because you need to connect and work on your own passion in your schoolwork, and be sucked into networking. But right now, use social media as your advantage and take that next step forward towards your major, towards your career goals, or just your goals, your short-term or long-term goals, wherever that may be. I know right now I'm looking up all the cooking recipes right now to cook during this COVID-19. And if you're a chef out there, maybe you should be doing the same thing. Start recording yourself. Like I said, if only one person follows you or one person is on your video, that's one person who impacted for that day. So it doesn't even matter. So don't think about numbers, because we live in a society of numbers, how many followers we have, how many likes we have. As long as you're putting information out there and being true to yourself and being passionate about it, that's all that matters. So just network, network, and have passion behind what you're doing and follow your passion. All right. And
hold on, Taryn. So before you dip out, this is what I've learned. This is my takeaway. I got to step my hashtag game up. So I feel a certain way about posting too many hashtags. I don't know if it's, what's appropriate, what the limit is. So I'm gonna step my hashtag game up. All right. So that's my takeaway. But I wanna break it up a little bit before we jump off. I like to add something that's totally outside of what we talked about. I think this says a lot about a person. Taryn, if we go to your Apple Music right now, what are you listening to right now? Like, what are you going hard in? What if I open it up, what is it gonna say? Is it Lizzo? Is it what you got? Tell me something.
Let's see. Let's pop it open. Okay, so right now for me, everybody, I follow basically I have two playlists at the top of my hey baby. I have two playlists right now. It's called Piano Chills. So I like listening to beats all day with no words, because I just feel like we're in a time of you watching news all day. I just don't want to hear any words. I'm not even really listening to anything. I'm listening to 101.1 in the car, so that's classical music station FM. So right now I'm listening to Piano Chill. Beat instrumentals. So it's called beat instrumentals, and they add everything in there, from violins to piano to drums to clarinet, saxophones, flutes. So it's just a little bit of everything. So right now I'm just listening to like tunes and piano music, classical music, nothing with words.
Okay, what you got, Joe?
So I got two complete opposite playlists going on. My first one that I usually is in the evening is Baby Lullabies on Spotify. It's been a lifesaver. I stream it to my Chromecast in the bedroom or in the living room, and the baby's very soothed and he's good. And then during the day when I'm working, as long as I'm not in meetings, I'm listening to nothing but Drake. Because I've been following Drake since he actually started, and so it's just two separate playlists. But it's really neat because I get to when I catch myself sometimes when I hear the baby, like I have a tendency to just change it to the lullabies and it's playing and what have you. So those are my two playlists. What playlist do you have?
All right, so I'm trying to force myself to stay current. So my old go-to is right now Royce the 5'9" has an album called The Allegory. You're talking about just straight lyrics, bars, that's it. But I'm really into Lizzo right now. Whenever I listen to her, I feel like I can take over the world. Let me just say that. Nice. And then I tried to listen to YBN Cordae. I think I'm saying that right. So I checked him out. He's actually quite talented. So I try to go back and forth a little bit between old stuff, new stuff, or older artists, new artists, whatever their new material is. So I just had to ask that. I know so much more about y'all now than I know what y'all listen to. So so all right, well, thank y'all so much. Before we sign out, I'm going to recap it and say we got a couple of different things. Joe talked about the Google platform, the Google Black platform. I'm losing my mind right now. I can't talk. The Google platforms that we're on. So you go to bit.ly/UTO Dallas. You get to all our Google stuff on that way. Twitter, UT Outreach DFW, and Facebook and Instagram, UT Outreach Dallas. That's how you can really stay connected with who we are. And again, weekly, we're going to post these 60-second bites that you can really learn a lot from in a short amount of time. We'll also continue with these podcasts, and then we'll go live so we can really interact more, whether you're a student or you're a parent and you're trying to help your student, or if you're like us, if you're a college access person, if you're a higher ed person, or if you work for a school district, we want to definitely engage you as best we can. So we thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll be back. We'll stay connected with you. Thanks. This has been the podcast with UT Outreach Dallas.